The reason why we started racing was to be together as a family. So
Ah, it's the
my
best.
sister was the one who really wanted to do it. And I just kind of was like, oh, okay. And so anyway, it turns out I was the one that, kept going and made a career out of it. But it was to be together. My dad worked a
Wow.
ton. My mom stayed home. And so we just didn't really know my dad. And so this was a way to spend time together on the weekends. So it obviously took off and we spent a ton of time together.
Yeah.
And then it eventually backfired because I moved to England when I was 16. So then it totally backfired.
And
But
what happened? How does that work?
well, I just took racing the next step in racing, and so I ended up in England racing cars. And I left high school halfway through my junior year, and in fact, I only went to half of the first half of junior year, so I pretty much only have a sophomore level education. And
Well, in the conventional sense, I mean, people often say, "Oh, I didn't finish high school." I'm like, "Yeah, but you educated yourself so much."
yeah, true. And I've spent a lot of time. I've spent a lot of my life
Clearly, you're educated.
sort of giving people, like giving myself. I'd rather call it out than let someone else think it about me. So I'll be like, I'm not very smart. I just like kind of, because there'd be some really sort of basic school information that I wouldn't know, but I knew a lot about other things. So I just kind of throw it out there. And finally people are like, stop saying that about you. You are not. And so I had a big compliment when I was taking a walk on the beach one day. It was early this year, and somebody who was worked in CERN on the accelerator in CERN, like the subatomic particles, and astrophysicist gone wild with energy and the nature of reality. And I'm holding this conversation with him, and he's like, "Where did you go to college?" And I was like so excited finally to say, "I have a GED." And he was just like,
He's like, "What college is that?"
instead of giving him this, like, I went to MIT kind of a thing, I was like, "No, I have a GED." And he was like, "Huh." So it's truly like proof that if you're very interested in things,
Yeah.
like you said, the conventional education.
Yes.
I mean, let's face it. I have no problem blasting the educational system because, well, I didn't really do it. And turns out I didn't really need it. But how much of that, can we swear on your show?
Yes.
How much of that shit do we really use? Really?
Well, a lot of conventional stuff, and especially the SAT world. First of all, some people want to go on that route and it's just the perfect fit for them and they're just gliding through it and they love it and they were built for it. And God bless that. And then some people need to move around while they're learning, and some people need to do a backflip in the corner and then sit down and take in some information. So for me, it's what you just said. It's keeping that curiosity alive.